Howdy, everyone. It's Reese, aka Bearman Prime, on this September 4th. Welcome back to my Read the Bible in a Year series. Thank you again for joining me. God bless you all. Card in the top right hand corner for the rest of the playlist. And please hit that like button, subscribe button, and notification bell. Sure do appreciate it. All right, so we are caught up still in the middle of a debate between Jesus and the Jewish leaders in Jerusalem, the religious leaders, the Pharisees, teachers of the law, the Sadducees, etc., etc. And so far, Jesus is obviously winning the debate. And of course, he will win every debate, every fight, right? So we're going to see another example here. Let's go to Luke chapter 20 today, and we're going to see a couple of examples where the Jewish leaders trick Jesus, try to catch him in his words, see if he'll slip up, but of course he won't. So let's see how he does it. Luke 20, start in verse 20. So the Jewish leaders waited for the right time to get Jesus. They sent some men to him who pretended to be sincere. They wanted to find something wrong with what Jesus said. If they found something wrong, then they could hand him over to the governor, who had the authority to arrest him. So the men said to Jesus, "Teacher, we know that what you say and teach is true. It doesn't matter who is listening. You teach the same to all people. You always teach the truth about God's way. Tell us, is it right for us to pay taxes to Caesar or not?" But Jesus knew that these men were trying to trick him. He said to them, "Show me a silver coin. Whose name and picture are on it?" They said, "Caesar's." He said to them, "Then give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar, and give to God what belongs to God." The men were amazed at his wise answer. They could say nothing. They were not able to trick Jesus there in front of the people. He said nothing they could use against him. Verse 27. Some Sadducees came to Jesus. Sadducees believe that people will not rise from death. They asked him, "Teacher, Moses wrote that if a married man dies and had no children, his brother must marry his widow. Then they will have children for the dead brother. One time there were 7 brothers. The first brother married a woman but died. He had no children. Then the second brother married the woman, and he died. And the third brother married the woman, and he died. The same thing happened with all the other brothers. They all died and had no children. The woman was the last to die. But all 7 brothers married her. So when people rise from death, whose wife will this woman be?" Jesus said to the Sadducees, "On earth, people marry each other. Some people will be worthy to be raised from death and live again after this life. In that life, they will not marry. In that life, people are like angels and cannot die. They are children of God because they have been raised from death. Moses clearly showed that people are raised from death. When Moses wrote about the burning bush, he said that the Lord is the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. So they were not still dead because he is the God only of living people. Yes, to God, they are all still living." Some of the teachers of the law said, "Teacher, your answer was very good." No one was brave enough to ask him another question. All right, so there you have it. So, of course, Jesus wins the argument again, as he always does. So, first part is they try to trick him with the idea of paying taxes, not just any old tax, but taxes to their oppressors, the Romans. Okay, the Roman government at this time had control of Israel, and so they're asking him, is it right for them, God's chosen people, to pay taxes to Caesar, the Roman emperor, right? And so Jesus, he takes the clever way and says, "Show me a coin. Whose name is on it?" "Caesar's." "Give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar, and give to God what belongs to God." So, you know, whether they liked it or not, the Roman authority was the ruling power at that time. And so they had an obligation to obey the law, the Roman law, and pay their taxes to the Roman government, right? They may not have liked it, They may have, they hated the Romans, of course, but still, they had an obligation to follow the law because that is what good, humble servants do, is they obey their masters, right? Okay. So that's more or less what Jesus was saying, is that, hey, you may not like it, but this belongs to Caesar. So you should give to him what is owed to him, and also give to God what is owed to God. Okay. Referring to, tithes, talents, treasures, our hearts, right? Whatever God deserves, which is everything, then we should give it to God, right? And then the second part is where the Sadducees come in and try to trick him. So it says here that the Sadducees were a sect of the Jewish religious leaders who did not believe in the resurrection. They did not believe at all that people would literally rise again from death and live again. Okay? They didn't believe that. So they tried to trick Jesus with this very hypothetical question where seven brothers and one woman. First brother marries the woman and then dies. So by law, the next oldest brother, has to marry the woman to bear children for his brother. But that doesn't happen. He dies, the third one dies, and so on and so on. All seven brothers die without producing any offspring, and then the woman dies. So they try to ask him, whose wife will this woman be in the day when everyone comes back to life? And of course, they're still thinking in very earthly terms, okay? Which is not at all what the resurrection and the life to come will be like. And he says it quite plainly, is on earth, people marry each other, but in the life to come, when people are raised from death, there will be no marriage. It won't matter. People will be like angels with bodies that cannot die. See, we will literally get new physical bodies. Okay, this body that we have right now, okay, it will die and waste away. But when we are raised from death, we will get new, heavenly, glorious, still physical bodies, perfect bodies that will never know disease, that will never know pain, that can never die, period, at all. So that's what he's alluding to here, is that in the life to come, none of that's going to matter, okay? Because you're going to be a part of God's kingdom. You're going to have everything you could ever want. It doesn't matter. Marriage is a non-factor here, right? All right. That's all for today. We'll pick it up there tomorrow. Thank you again for joining me. I sure do appreciate it. I'll see y'all tomorrow.